This comes from Jason, and it was sent to Mike Gurton. Of course, we're answering it without Mike on the show, but I'm sure he'll weigh in if we get it wrong or if there are things that he wanted to say. Yeah. Hey, Mike, I'm hoping you can clear up some questions on a shed build I'll be tackling this weekend. I have most of the material secured and plans established, but not all the details are sorted out. A friend gave me some salvaged 1x6 tongue and groove mahogany that I plan to use as siding. I picked up some free flanged double hung windows and a basic exterior door. The floor will be framed on top of footings that will elevate the shed between 6 and 20 inches. The land slopes away quite a bit. Do the floor joists need to be pressure treated, or is regular untreated lumber okay? I'll install diagonal metal straps on the walls for bracing. I'm not installing wall sheathing. The tongue and groove 1x6 will be installed directly onto the studs. So question 2 is tongue up or groove up? Should I install the windows to the studs and apply the siding over them, or install the siding first, cut around the rough opening, and then install the windows over the siding? If the windows are installed first, how should I get flashing to keep the water in from keep out water from leaking in the sides and bottom? Do I install a sill pan? And if so, does it need to somehow go over the siding at the bottom? I'm not sure how that would work if the window was behind the siding. If the windows are installed on top of the siding, I would need to apply some trim over the flange. This seems more logical since I can put the flashing pan on the rough sill and can lap it onto the siding at the bottom. The only weak point is the top piece of the window trim. How can I get it flashed into the siding? Most of the instructions and details I've seen don't show felt paper or house wrap installed over studs. Should I install tar paper or house wrap before the siding goes on? Since the inside will have exposed studs, I figure if I did install a wrap, that it'll get damaged when storing garden equipment. Okay, so we have a number of questions here. Brian, you want to take the lead on this?
I don't know if I do. There's a lot of questions in there. How about we take the questions one at a time?
Sounds good.
First, I think I
can hear Mike Gurton typing off in the distance.
Yes, not answering on behalf of Mike, answering instead of Mike. The first question I think was, should he use pressure treated framing for the floor? I would.
I guess the question is, how long do you want it to last, right?
Yeah.
And if it's more than a decade, I would say absolutely.
Yeah,
because it's not that much.
It's worth noting that PT lumber in most areas of the country is at pre-COVID lows for cost. So if you're building it now, it's economically in your best interest, I think, to use PT is what Brian was going for.
Yeah, and the second question, I think, was tongue up or tongue down?
I love this question.
I'm fascinated by this question.
I'm fascinated by it, too. I love it because I think I know the answer, and then I think, but wait a minute, are Patrick or Ian going to think of something that I don't think of? Because it seems obvious to me that you would want to have the tongue up. So you don't have a trough to catch water. But what am I not thinking of?
Capillarity? Does it matter?
It's easiest to blind nail something with the tongue up. That's where I come down on it. Because if you try and blind nail something through the groove, you are much more likely to blow the back of the piece of material off. When I first read the question, all I could think of was, I have only ever installed things tongue up, but why? And so I've been bouncing that around for a day or two in my head, and that's the only thing I can come up with is the blind nailing.
I agree with Brian. I don't think you want a trough holding water and debris, right? It's going to be a place for rot and fungus to get a foothold. But I'm guessing if there is other rationale that might enter into this conversation that I'm not thinking about, as Brian suggests. And I was thinking about panel products on wall sheathing applications. I've never seen anyone use tongue and groove material. And when I've seen board sheathing, it's always square edge. Channel Rustic has a vertical overlap, and V-groove paneling / siding has, vertical grooves. So I'm guessing this is rare, but maybe there's an application I'm not thinking of.
And then, okay, so next was the last questions were about flashing windows, I believe. And we could come up with a lot of scenarios for this. So I'm just going to give my honest answer, and then I'll let you, the two of you, give detailed answers. The honest answer for me is that I wouldn't think too hard about it. It's a shed.
Because it's a shed.
I would probably choose a way to install the windows and use some caulk to keep water out. The best I could.
Everything is going to dry if it gets wet, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we might be overthinking this a little bit, Jason, but I applaud your efforts to build something that lasts a long time, because we should all be doing that.